Hey Justin, hopefully this will find you well, and hopefully this will help you get this project done. So, as for the spiral calculations, as you can see at the top, I put the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I'm going to just kind of walk you through this part of it. Hopefully this will help you out. So, for your first triangle, we know that your short leg is 0.5, your long leg is 0.5, and therefore you can find that your hypotenuse is the square root of 0.5. Now, you may have trouble finding it if you don't know what to do with 0.5s, right? So you put 0.5 into A and 0.5 into B. So you get 0.5 squared, which is 0.5 times itself. So that's going to be 0.5 times 0.5, which is going to be 0.25. All right, so 0.25, I'm going to write it here in this lovely little box. There we go. And then it just happens that we have the same length for the leg, so I'm going to put 0.25 as well. So 0.25 plus 0.25, right? A plus B is going to get me 0.5. Now you're probably thinking, why is it the square root of 0.5? Well, and you probably weren't thinking that, but I just try to be funny. So, you have c squared, right? 0.5 is c squared. So you have to get c by itself. To get c by itself, you take the square root to get rid of the square sign. So if I take the square root of c squared, I take the square root of 0.5, and that gets me why the hypotenuse is square root of 0.5. Okay, so that's step one. Now, step two. We now, because it's a spiral, right, we're using the hypotenuse of the first triangle becomes the long leg for the next one. And that's going to be for every one of them, right? Every hypotenuse is going to be becoming the long leg for the next one. So here's the difference. When you have a square root of something, so the square root of 0.5, and you square it, it multiplies the square root times itself, it cancels it out. So you're going to have the 0.25, right, for all of the short legs. Now the long leg, you're going to have square root of 0.5 squared. And that's going to get me just 0.5. So whatever is in the square root, whatever number is under the square root sign is going to be what the long leg is when it's squared. So then I would say 0.5, right, plus, so, and that 0.5 should actually be up here. 1 second. That's writing it in the wrong box. So that should actually be, right, so that's up here. So 0.5 squared, the square root of 0.5 squared is going to go, whoop, that is a big dot. That's going to go up here. Okay, so it's going to be 0.5 plus 0.25. So then I'm going to get 0.75. And then, right, because it's 0.25 plus 0.5, now I take the square root. Now I move the square root of 0.75 down to this one, right? So now the square root of 0.75 is my long leg. Then I square it, and by squaring it, I get 0.75. So then I say 0.25 plus 0.75 equals 1. And then I take the square root of that. So now my hypotenuse is the square root of 1. And so you're going to keep doing the same thing. That's going to go through every single triangle. The hypotenuse becomes the long leg. Take the number that's underneath the that's underneath the square root sign, add that to 0.25. Put that number in the hypotenuse box and put a square root sign over it. Then move it down. Then take the number, right? Same process. If you have any more questions, let me know. But hopefully this helps, and my dog wishes you the best of luck.